Hi, I'm Jo Rodriguez, a health psychologist. Let's talk about functional freeze. What is it and how it might be showing up in your everyday life? Functional freeze is part of your body's built-in survival system, one that's meant to keep you safe but can also keep you stuck. So you've probably heard of the fight, flight, freeze response, the body's way of reacting to danger by either gearing you up to confront, fight the threat, or by getting the hell out of here. Run away, flight. But there's another part of this system that doesn't often get much attention, and that's freeze. The freeze response is what happens when your nervous system registers a situation as overwhelming or inescapable, but instead of gearing you up to fight or run, your body and your brain hit pause. This isn't a conscious decision, it's a biological survival response designed to help you cope when action doesn't feel possible. But here's where it gets a bit complicated. You don't need to be running from a tiger for your body to go into freeze mode. It can happen in everyday life, especially when stress, anxiety, past experiences make things feel too much to handle. And that's when functional freeze hits. It's a state where you're technically getting through life, but not really engaging with it. So how does functional freeze show up in everyday life? Freeze mode isn't always obvious. It's not necessarily sitting in one place, unable to move, although that can happen. Instead, it often looks like patterns of avoidance, shutdown, or just feeling stuck in a way that's hard to explain. So let's break it down. Number one, procrastination, but not the lazy kind. If you've ever had a to-do list staring at you in the face and you felt completely incapable of starting, that could be freeze mode at work. So your brain registers a task as overwhelming or threatening in some way, even if logically you know it's not, and your system responds by shutting down instead of taking action. So you might find yourself endlessly scrolling, cleaning random things, or just zoning out. Anything to avoid the task at hand. It's not laziness, it's your nervous system saying, this feels too big, so let's not do it at all. Number two, feeling numb or disconnected. So freeze doesn't just affect what you do, it affects how you feel. A lot of people in functional freeze describe feeling numb, emotionally detached, or like they're watching their life happen rather than actually experiencing it. So you might find it hard to get excited about things that used to bring you joy, or maybe you struggle to connect with people, even those you love, because your system has gone into like a low power mode to avoid overwhelm. Number three, dissociation and spacing out. So dissociation is when you feel disconnected from yourself or your surroundings. It can range from mild, so daydreaming, zoning out in a meeting, to more intense ways like feeling like you're watching yourself from the outside or not fully present in your own body. This is a classic freeze response. Your nervous system is trying to protect you by creating distance between you and whatever it is that feels overwhelming. So if you've ever suddenly come to and realised that you've been scrolling for an hour or driven somewhere with no memory of the journey, it could be dissociation in action. Number four, avoiding decisions or over-analysing everything. Have you ever felt paralysed by decision making, even over small things? Well, that's freeze. Whether it's deciding what to eat for dinner or making a big life choice, your brain gets stuck in analysis paralysis, going over and over the same options again, but never landing on a decision. This happens because making a choice requires a sense of safety, and if your nervous system is in freeze, any decision can feel like a potential threat, so your brain avoids committing to one at all. Number five, exhaustion. Even after doing nothing, functional freeze is not restful. Even if you're spending a lot of time at what looks like resting, lying in bed, binge watching TV, scrolling endlessly, you're not actually relaxing. Your body is in a state of shutdown, but your nervous system is still on high alert, and that's why people in freeze mode often feel utterly drained despite not having done much. It's like your system is running in the background, using up energy without you even realising it. Number six, feeling stuck in patterns you can't seem to break out of. One of the most frustrating parts of functional freeze is feeling trapped in the same cycles over and over, whether it's relationships, work stress, personal habits that you can't shift. You know something isn't working, but change feels impossible. No matter how much you try, this happens because freeze mode keeps you in a kind of mental fog. The part of your brain responsible for problem solving and motivation, your prefrontal cortex, it's not fully online. So when you're in a freeze state, even if you want to take action, it feels like there's an invisible wall between you and the thing that you need to do. So why functional freeze happens? There is no one-size-fits-all reason why people experience functional freeze, but some common triggers might include chronic stress or burnout, so when your system is under constant strain, and it can default to freeze mode as a way of conserving energy. Another reason might be past trauma or unprocessed experiences, so your brain remembers what felt overwhelming in the past and can respond with a freeze even when you're not in danger anymore. High anxiety levels might cause it, so if fight or flight isn't an option, your system can just switch off into freeze instead. If you're feeling overwhelmed by big life changes, transitions, career shifts, parenthood, health struggles, they can all trigger the freeze response. Let's talk about breaking out of functional freeze. So getting out of a freeze response isn't about forcing yourself to push through, it's about gently bringing your nervous system back online. And some helpful approaches include movement, like really small, non-intimidating movement like stretching, shaking out your arms or your legs, or even just wiggling your toes can help your body to feel safe and to unfreeze. Breath work is really helpful, so some deep belly breathing, grounding techniques like the 5-4-3-2-1 method, they can help you reconnect with your body. EFT tapping, so emotional freedom techniques like tapping can help you to release the energy and reset your nervous system. Setting yourself some micro tasks, so instead of tackling like everything at once, starting with one tiny thing, something as simple as standing up or drinking water, writing one sentence to help you get started from breaking out the freeze pattern. Self-compassion is so important. Understanding that you're not lazy or unmotivated, you're experiencing a nervous system response, and treating yourself with kindness instead of criticism makes a huge difference. So functional freeze is frustrating, but it's also normal, and your brain and your body are just trying to protect you, even if it's in a way that doesn't feel helpful at all. And the good news is that once you recognize it, you can start working with your nervous system rather than against it to shift you out of the freeze state and back into a place of action, connection, and feeling alive again. Hi, I'm Jo Rodriguez. I'm a health psychologist, anxiety expert and therapist with over 20 years of experience helping people move from just surviving to actually thriving. You can find me on Instagram at Straightforward Psychology. My website is straightforward-psychology.com, and you can also find me on LinkedIn at Jo Rodriguez. I've just spent the day filming with MindFriend. They're a digital platform that provide reliable and accredited mental health videos. Stay tuned for upcoming content.